Death Valley is known as the hottest place on Earth. Back in 1913, the air temperature registered a monstrous 57 degrees Celsius.
Hey, there's a thrift store here. Should pop in.
Yeah? Basie is a tiny town that sits on the border of what's known as the Nevada Test Site, a massive area of mountainous desert where the US government tested its nuclear bombs during the 50s and 60s. Close to 1,000 nuclear explosions took place on this land. It's one of the most nuked places on Earth. The explosions were so huge, tourists would flock to rooftops 65 miles away in Las Vegas to catch a glimpse of the mushroom clouds. This was the era of nuclear tourism.
What I'd love to find is someone who was alive. I mentioned this to you the other day. Someone who was alive when they were doing the nuclear testing on the site over the back.
There's a gentleman I may want to talk to too.
Okay.
Oh, this guy? Who's this?
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Is it Jim?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Jim. This is
Hi,
my friend
Emily.
Emily.
Nice to meet you.
Did you grow up around here?
Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Born and raised?
Yeah, pretty much.
Jim, do you know anything about the nuclear testing that was going on in the area?
Oh yeah.
What was it
They
like?
let us out of school to go watch them go up.
No way.
Yeah. First thing you'd see was a flash. And then you'd look, and then pretty soon the ground would start rolling a little bit. You could feel that ground rolling. And then the last thing you'd see was the mushroom coming in.
How did they know when it was going to happen?
With teachers or something. There's a lot of people here that worked out the test.
Okay.
It was like an event to go and watch, like watching a fireworks show. How bright was that flash, that initial flash?
Bright.
Bright.
Like somebody's shining a flash bulb in your eyes. Not noise.
No noise. Okay.
No, I don't know. There might have been a little bit of rumble. I don't remember that though. But you could definitely feel the ground move.
How far away do you think the explosions were from you? Like 10 miles or more?
Oh,
or
yeah,
less?
all of that.
The test site was also used by the US Army, with troops trained for combat in nuclear war. At the height of the testing, the amount of radiation released here between 1951 and 1962 is 20 times that from the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. And all local communities were exposed to radiation from the blast.
Did people ever worry about the sort of safety of being around radiation from the blast? Did people think, were you told about that, or were you aware of that?
The radiation, I guess you're aware of it. The winds, prevailing winds always come in off the coast and blow from west to east, right?
Yeah.
When they'd set off a surface shot, the migration will be to the east.
Okay.
Didn't necessarily come here. The government made a payback to some people that with cancer and so forth, even in this area.
Yeah.
And my mother had cancer, so I applied and I got her some money back.
Right. Is this the test site to our left?
Yeah, so all along the left side of the highway here, we are passing alongside the Nevada test site.
Wanza Hussey, also known as Sarah Jane, is a local Nevada YouTuber who's offered to take us closer to the area used for the nuclear testing. So are they still nuclear testing out here?
No, they quit above ground testing in the 90s, I think.
Okay.
They say they're not above ground. I mean, we would know if they were above ground testing because we would hear and see the mushroom clouds. Mercury is where they conducted the above ground nuclear test back in the 1960s. This day, still take a free public tour of it.
Is this the one that we read about where you're not allowed to do it if you're not an American citizen?
Oh, that's possible, yeah.
Hello. Where are you from? I'm from Boston.
Yeah, exactly. there's still a lot of people who work out there at Mercury. They commute from Las Vegas or Pahrump, surrounding areas. So
What are they doing out there?
if we knew, then it wouldn't be that exciting.
It wouldn't be that. That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
I mean, I have a personal acquaintance who is a firefighter out there.
Okay.
But I mean,
So they have their own fire squad hanging out.
apparently he's not allowed to say too much about what he does.
If we were to kind of just like veer off the road right now into this place and step onto this land, what would happen?
There's a sign on, it's just a little barbed wire fence. No trespassing. Use of deadly force authorized beyond this point sign.
Whoa.
I am here my personal feeling is it's so vast. There's no way they have cameras monitoring the whole thing. So up by the main gate in Mercury and where this trespassing Dutch YouTuber was arrested.
The 2 Dutch foreign nationals who were arrested for trespassing at the Nevada National Security Site.
Back in 2019, 2 20-year-old Dutch YouTubers called Govert Sweep and Thijs Granzier were arrested at gunpoint after they walked 3 miles onto the Nevada test site land with the intention of filming the nearby Area 51. The pair were originally sentenced to 1 year in county jail, which was dropped only when they agreed to each pay a $2,000 fine instead. They were released after 3 days, returning home without their cameras, laptops, and mobile phones.
If you take the tour out there, they do bus you around to like some of the craters that were formed from the above ground detonations, and they built old houses back in the day to test what would be the effects of a nuclear blast on a typical American home.
Really?
Yeah, so there's these old wooden homes out there, and they put mannequins in them for the initial test. Yeah, you can see the footage online of these mannequins just getting incinerated by this nuclear shockwave blast, like their faces melting off. Yeah, and it's right here. We're only, like 50, 60 miles north of Vegas. It's not far outside Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect place to do it, you know? It's a massive distraction right down the road. No one will notice what's going on out here.
Yeah. It just seems so spooky.
The thought of a nuclear bomb going off anywhere near you is the most terrifying thing.
Yeah. Interesting having this conversation now with people who were around in the time when it was happening, because the threat of nuclear war is more present now than it has been in decades. And kids were just going out and watching it like it was a school trip to go see the fireworks. We were taking a trip out to go see a nuclear bomb. And the idea of a nuclear bomb being within thousands of miles of me scares me. Then it was just a part of Beatty life. Yeah, there's a nuclear test in the desert. Let's go check it out. Nevada is one of the top-ranking US states for personal freedom. And when you're here, it's easy to see why. It does seem to be a place, Nevada, this desert area, where you can come here and just be really authentically yourself. Very little judgment from people. Everyone seems to really mind their own business in this area. I love it because I love weird stuff, but if you're gonna be weird anywhere, this is kind of the place. Anything kind of goes. You can come out here and do anything you want and everyone's gonna go, yeah, okay. Because they've seen everything. Very weird place. There's no judgment at all, which is great, but it is pretty bananas.
Why is this such a mecca for weird stuff then?
I guess just because you can be weird out here. I mean, there's plenty of room and no one's gonna bother you, no one's watching you. People just kind of feel comfortable to do their thing. And Nevada is just sort of known as a libertarian, anything goes state. And then there's so many vast, wide open spaces where you can go. Like with Burning Man, they went out there because they just wanted to go take drugs and party and not be bothered.
Arguably one of the weirdest things about this part of Nevada is Area 51. But look closer and there are some other surprises too. So this is just like a little pit stop for tourists. Well, not in the middle of, we're in the desert in Nevada. And if you think of the desert in Nevada, well, I think of Area 51.
Okay.
Steve, do you want an alien shot?
It's a vodka.
That's going to make you go blind. I love this this one. Restricted. Do you know what I like the most about it? It's a little bit worn. It's like All Saints.
What's around the back here?
A brothel.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke. It's just cat house, but it actually is.
It's real.
It's
A
real
functioning brothel.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also a bar.
Sorry. It's a new telephone. So this is what's nuts. Miles and miles of nothing. And stopping, there's this alien center, which I originally thought was kind of be like an Area 51 museum or something. And then just around the back of it is a brothel. And it's a real life brothel. Accepting walk-ins from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. daily. So there's someone doing a proper night shift here just in case. Legal brothel in the state of Nevada.
Some of the guys.
There they go. I like the sign, it's got a sexy alien on it. I wonder if that's something that you can pay extra for.
I bet you can.
100%. That's going to be on the menu, isn't it?
But when it comes to the weirdest and most unique thing about this part of Nevada, it has to be Area 51, known world over for its extraterrestrial appeal.
Hey,
Then
how are you doing?
what's good on the deep space menu?
The 5 and the 7 are the most popular.
Are you a believer in...
I'm guessing. I have a lot of guys that come in here all the time to tell you a lot of cool stories.
Really?
If you ever want to hear a good story, it's one of the truckers. And actually, there was one in Arizona last Thursday.
A sighting? Did they tell you?
It was on the news.
What was it? What was the story? Just like multiple people going, seeing what it was. What was it?
It just looked like a round orb with the, just like a white ball pin just around it.
Wow.
Like all the habit I used to. I wonder if I had it. Yeah, it was on Fox 5 News. I was a little shocked. Because, guys, to tell you the honest truth,
Yeah.
my husband and I did see it that night. And then the next morning, we seen it on the news. They seen it in Arizona. I was like, man, that's the same thing we just seen.
So you saw it too?
We seen it and we thought, holy, well, we're just seeing something.
And when you saw it, did you think it was anything, or were you just like...
We weren't sure.
What do you think? I mean, Area 51.
They're doing experiments and stuff. So like it's all that in those mountains back underground. Well, no, they could be building a gigantic spaceship. Just go out there and find their little balloons. You never know.
What would happen if we tried to go? I mean, do you think?
There's the fence.
Yeah.
Okay, you get to right there. Security's right there.
Straight away.
Straight away.
Okay.
You don't know where they're going to pop up.
Yeah.
The Dutch YouTuber story comes up again.
I had two guys 2 summers ago and answered it. I told them, you guys are crazy. You cannot make it do that. You're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, they attempted it.
And what happened?
Honest to God, the next morning I see on the news 2 gentlemen that almost got shot and killed out here. They got fined a whole bunch of money. That's how serious they are. They're really
They're not
serious.
messing around
No,
in
they don't
any
mess
way.
around. Got to the fence and they didn't believe it. And I had 3 kids 2 months ago camping out across Mercury. They came in for breakfast, said they're going to go back on the other side and sleep there. Didn't see him again.
Oh my gosh.
But it's no longer just tired truckers and the tabloid media fueling the debate around the extraterrestrial life. In 2023, David Grush, an ex-US intelligence officer, testified to Congress that the United States government was harboring intact and partially intact non-human pilots.
I guess human or non-human biological.
Grush went on to claim the government had caused harm and injury to individuals in an effort to keep the revelations secret. He even told the committee that after going public with his allegations, he feared for his life.
How would that be determined?
And this wasn't the first time someone in the know had revealed information about alien sightings, now known as unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. In 2020, the Pentagon released 3 videos of UAPs taken in 2004 and 2015, which led to the creation of a specialist task force set up by the US Department of Defense. And reminiscent of a line from a Hollywood B-movie, the DoD established the UAPTF to, and I quote, improve its understanding of the nature and origins of UAPs. The mission of the task force is to detect, analyze, and catalogue UAPs that could potentially pose a threat to US national security. What are your thoughts on actual Area 51?
And I'm very open to the idea of aliens, and I spend a lot of time in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, traveling around from a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And many's the time I have been out in the middle of nowhere. I like hot springs, natural hot springs. So I go out to a lot of natural hot springs in the middle of nowhere, and I lay in the tub looking at the sky at night, say, aliens, please, come visit me. Probe me if that's what it takes to prove that you're real. I just want to know.
I'm here. As they're out there being like, oh my God, she's so desperate.
Yeah, I guess too desperate because they've never called.
Have you heard any big stories from people about things that they might have seen?
Yeah, like I said, I have a number of friends who were born and raised in Vegas, and they almost everyone I know out here has some kind of UFO sighting story.
Really?
Except for me.
What kind of things do people report seeing?
Just mostly unexplained lights, a light that's not moving in a way that our technology can explain. You know, it was going too fast and then it just vanished. Or this huge dark shadow passed across the night sky and blotted out all the stars. And like this giant ship was moving through space. I've heard some pretty crazy stories. Now, I don't know anyone who has actually been abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
So I have no reports about that.
Like ghosts?
Aliens, ghosts, and Bigfoot. I'm very skeptical about all 3. Maybe I'm just too thirsty. I'm trying too hard.
That's exactly
Maybe I need to play hard to get. Probably why I'm single too. I'm no good.
Death Valley is a US national park that straddles the California-Nevada border, east of the Sierra Nevada mountain range.
We are currently driving through Death Valley itself. On the longest straight road that I've ever seen in my life. There's barely a cloud in the sky. Barely another car. Definitely no other people. Not a lot of wildlife. It is very, very beautiful. Just like land that goes on forever. Only when you come to places like this, having existed in the city for a while, this is when you remember just how enormous the sky is. You can see for miles. And the weirdest thing, so we're in the middle of the desert. It's pretty steamy, getting towards midday. Barren wasteland, but you can see in the distance, those mountains with snow. And within like a couple of hours drive of here, Mojave Desert, you go up and there's a ski resort. And here, I mean, honestly, I imagine in the middle of summer when it's at peak heat, you could fry an egg on the car bonnet without question. Just looking over there, you can also go snowboarding in the same day. So just having a little look at this sign, the Death Valley National Park sign, homeland of the Timbisha. So just a little bit of research on it. And they came here over 1,000 years ago and had recognised that this is legally their home. 2010 census, there were 124 people in the village.
That's one of the sort of like sad things about a lot of places in America, isn't it? That people discovered it however many hundreds of years ago, but there were already people here. These guys were here 1,000 years ago.
And then someone rocked up and was like, actually, this is mine. Gonna make a city. Such a rich history and culture that I know nothing about. So we've just been driving down like really windy roads in the middle of, a big valley with mountains on either side, and then just swung around this corner here, which is where Furnace Creek is, and then came on to this
And both of us just went, whoa. I mean, completely opened up to a totally different terrain.
So I think that will be Badwater Basin,
Basin.
the lowest point in America.
Yeah.
Minus 282 feet, I think. Like salt flats. It's hard to keep eyes on the road.
Yeah.
There's so much to look at.
It is strange because it is nothing. There's nothing to look at, and yet there is everything to look at.
Nevada is mostly barren mountainous desert with a landmass 1.2 times bigger than the UK. The UK could easily fit within its boundaries with room to spare. And this happens to be only the 7th largest state in the US. But what Nevada has in size, it lacks in population. The UK is currently home to 67 million people, whereas Nevada has a population of only 3 million.
This could be the moon.
Yeah.
This could be the surface of the moon. It could be
As I've said, it looks like
surface of Mars.
It feels like an entirely different planet. One thing it's also worth noting is there is absolutely zero service here. Not a flicker of a bar. So getting lost out here, be in quite a lot of trouble.
We got a map.
Only one of us knows how to read a map, though. And so it's more if I was stuck here without, so Steve would be fine. You would never hear from me again. Do you know what I've become? I've become the story of the woman in the hills who lives in a cage, flicking for gold. I've become a something of folklore for these parts. Don't you go off on those mountains. You'll find the crazy lady.
With the map.
With the map, she can't read. It's a niche reference, guys, but if you've ever sat playing Red Dead Redemption 2, you'll know where I'm at right now. All that red rock going up there. And then snow on the mountains in that direction. The temptation I have to shove this over my head is very real. Will I wreck the car, though?
What is it?
Am I allowed to touch it?
I probably wouldn't.
I don't think I should, just in case. This is the salt flats. Driving along over there, it looks like snow, and it's not, it's salt. It looks like diamonds in the water. It's beautiful. The colour of that water's just going across like that. Tiny in comparison to the size of the park that this oasis in the middle of somewhere so dry. It's really cool. And this beautiful colour, green colour, just coming out of such orangey red terracotta land. Just pings out. Stunning. It's so cool to look at. We've driven up, having taken a wrong turn, a little detour. We've driven up to somewhere called Dante's View. It's a really beautiful look over the land. It's a little bit before sunset, but we're gonna have a look over the edge. It's gotten a little bit cooler, so I've got my coat on. You ready? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my dear sweet baby angel.
We're standing at almost 1,700 meters above sea level on the spine of the Black Mountains that stretch the length of the US from Idaho in the north down to Mexico in the south.
Thing is, I think, like, doing it on camera, I just don't think it will do it justice. It's the expansive land. The colour of it, it doesn't look real. It's so beautiful. And these salt flats down here, that colour again. Just every direction is so stunning. Guys, I can't describe, I can't put into words what this looks like. I'm not a religious person, but I think I just woke up. Living in somewhere so busy and urban, coming out to a place where it's impossible to imagine anything else existing anywhere. It just looks completely untouched.
Death Valley, Nevada is the land of superlatives. There is no middle ground here, be it the extreme heat or the extreme cold, the dramatic mountain peaks or the lowest spot in the US. You've got extreme beauty and extreme danger side by side. There is nothing casual about this, and it's blown me away.